Hey guys, Usa here. Welcome back to my channel. So I've been seeing a lot of videos about the oils, butters, whether or not we need to use them in our hair. And for the life of me, I can't believe we're still having this conversation. Um, I'm always going to be an advocate for do what works best for your hair. Just because someone says that we should do something doesn't mean that if it makes our hair feel dry, brittle, damaged, whatever. If it just doesn't make your hair feel good, you should not be doing it. Personally, I was having some scalp issues before I went to see my dermatologist, and she told me no oils on my scalp. And I had no idea that that was kind of what was causing my irritation and what was causing some of my flare-ups on my scalp, which made me want to use harsher shampoos, shampoos that were medicated, things like that, just to get rid of it. The moment that I stopped using oil on my scalp, I no longer have that itchiness that I have. I no longer have a dry scalp, a dry flaky scalp, all those things. So there's no need for me to use a medicated shampoo, which has improved the overall health of my hair. So now that I've become a straight natural, there are a lot of things that I do differently than what I was doing prior to becoming a straight natural. If you're new to my channel, my name is Osa, and I am just a natural hair enthusiast, and I like to just kind of show different experiments that I like to do on my hair. So if you are interested in if you are interested in that kind of content, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I definitely want to grow my channel from here. So like I said before, I'm a straight hair natural. I am also working on my anemia. My anemia affects the front of my hair. That's why these shorter pieces are here. So good news is that from taking my iron supplements, from putting in an IUD to stop my heavy bleedings, why can't I talk today? From putting in an IUD to stop the heavy bleeding, my iron levels have improved. Now the downside is I wind up getting breast cancer, and I had a double mastectomy to basically just remove the cancer from my body, and I also had to have my IUD taken out. So it's going to be expected that with the heavy periods again, my hair is going to start falling out. But I've already talked to my gynecologist about other alternatives that we can possibly do so that I no longer bleed heavy. So I kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent, but I do want to stick to like the oil, the butters, the conversation that many people are having, and my dermatologist. And this doesn't go for everybody. This is why it's important for you to know your scalp, know your body, know the type of things that work well for you. And if your hair is not thriving from any of those things, then stop it. If your hair is thriving, continue it, right? So that is just a general rule across the board for every single thing that we do to our hair. So for me, being that I cannot use oils on my hair, the day before my wash day, I typically use, where is it now? Of course, every time I need something, I can't find it. I typically use something from Nutrafol. This is not a sponsored video. Pretty much a lot of the videos on my channels are just not sponsored because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole of saying something is great and then it makes people's hair fall out. I'm just like, after the whole diva curl situation, I'm just like, I no longer want to do sponsored videos. So yes, so I'm using Nutrafol, and I use the Nutrafol pretty much on my edges because that is the place that I really want for my hair to thicken up and grow back. So this has been a lifesaver for me. Another thing that I use is, oh gosh, I think it's called something by Defeel. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, anyway, oh, here it is. So I use another root stimulator on my scalp. I do like the results that I'm getting from this. Basically both of these things. So I use Nutrafol on my edges, and I use this one just all over my scalp, and I wash it out. So what I realized from styling my natural hair over these years is our hair is not any different from any other hair type, full stop. All the extra things that we do, all the extra concoctions that we do, I feel like if it's something that makes you feel good, if it's something that is like absolutely working for you, continue it. There's nothing wrong with doing it. There's nothing wrong with spraying your hair with different things. But our hair growth truly does come from inside of our bodies, what we eat, what we drink, and that is what is going to like fuel our hair growth. So another thing to keep in mind is if you have stress inside of your body, it is going to halt your hair growth. Like, I don't know how to really like drive that home. Your body is not going to send, those signals for your hair to be stimulated when you have other things going on. Like, they're going to preserve like your internal organs, those kind of things. So if you notice that your hair, your nails, all of those things are not growing, you have an internal issue that you need to like deal with. If your hair is falling out, it is an internal thing that we need to deal with. Most times it has to deal with nutrition, and vitamin deficiencies. So if you can get like those tests, those lab results back to tell you what you're deficient in, and then start taking those supplements, your hair will thrive. Okay. I know it's hard to tell like with my hair right now, but I'm actually doing really well. My hair normally in the front is very thin, so I'm going to just comb that down for you guys to see. So as you can see, it's still quite thin, but I noticed that when I'm washing my hair, like just my overall like thickness, just like in the root area. So what happens for me is that my hair will start growing, and then because of my anemia, it just starts tapering off and starts thinning out towards the end. So I'm constantly having to basically trim my ends just so that my hair doesn't look crazy, essentially. But anyway, because a lot of my videos aren't scripted, I kind of go off on a tangent sometimes, so I do apologize about that. But I did want to show you some oils that I do like to use, some obviously more than others. It depends on like what my hair needs at the time. When I first wash my hair, I like to start using the Kerastase, and I just put one pump in my hand, and I just rub my hands together, and I just focus it mainly on my ends. So if you're new, again, I started watching the Blowout Professor, and this is what he said that we should be doing to our hair, and it's been working well for me. It's been really cutting down on the split ends that I used to get. And sorry, my hair kind of falls out, and it makes me tickle on my on the area that it falls on. So yeah, so this is pretty much how I add oil to my hair. As you can see, as the week goes on, like because I work out, my edges, my roots, everything starts to kind of revert back, but I do not put any more heat on my hair once I've already done it for the week. So I wash my hair typically every 7 to 10 business days, every 7 to 10 days, and that has been working out well for me. When I exercise, I use a scrunchie. So I just pretty much just comb my hair back. And I just put it up in the scrunchie. And that is it. Okay, do my little workout, and then I let my hair down, and I let my hair air dry before I do anything to it. So yes, okay, so Kerastase, and I've been a big fan of the K18 repair oil. This is a good one. I still have the Olaplex, but Olaplex is kind of going through their own stuff right now, so I've been a little bit afraid to use it because there's been a few people who said that Olaplex has been making their hair fall out, so I've been a little bit more hesitant to use it. But I won't lie, when I was doing the Blowout Professor routine, this is something he had recommended, and it was working well for me. But I just got afraid once I saw like the lawsuit and everything that was happening. So I just want to show you a couple more. The next one is Verb Ghost Oil. and I just take about a pea-sized amount when I'm straightening my hair, just only on my ends, and that's to make sure that my ends don't revert back and that it's nice and straight. And then once my hair is straight, I like to spray the like the Sheer Shine. This is a very lightweight spray, so when I wrap my hair, I just give my hair a few sprays of this, and then I put my scarf on. So I don't use all four at the same time. I typically just use a couple at a time, and then I just see what my hair needs throughout the week. As my hair gets like older and things like that, I typically, just to like protect my ends a little bit more, I will just spray a pea-sized amount of the Ghost oil, and you rub your hands together, and I just go through and get my ends. Yeah, and that's it. Okay, so the reason why we're doing that is because we really want to create like less friction on our hair, and we want for our ends to be nice and protected while it's like in the elements. And that's the reason why we should be adding oils to our hair. Your hair does not need to be drenched and saturated, or like oil like dripping down your whole face and dripping down your neck. It's just unnecessary. Obviously, to each their own. Personally, I just think that it's unnecessary. Your pillows are all soiled, your couch is all soiled, you put your head on the wall, you're leaving an oil spot there. It's just not necessary. So I think a little oil goes a long way. And even when it comes to butters, I feel the same way. If that's something that works for you, like I see people putting butter at the end of their hair, same concept. It's just like they want to protect their ends and create less friction. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but I don't think everyone needs to grease their scalp or oil their scalp. Like it has to be what like works best for you. And my dermatologist has already told me I don't need to do that. So that's kind of why I stay clear of it, because I used to get really bad scalp irritations. So another thing that has helped me on my journey is the apple cider vinegar rinse, to basically unclog my follicles, because I think a lot of my hair loss was also due to clogged follicles and just not like fully cleansing my scalp properly. So now, like when I shampoo, I really focus on my problem areas, which, as you can see, like the hair is definitely coming back, but this is definitely like a thin spot for me. Okay, even on both sides it's a thin spot, but it definitely has come a long way, especially with my anemia numbers going up. So the last time I checked, I think I was at either 81 or 83, which is great, right? You can start having hair growth again, and your hair will stop shedding and thinning once you get past 70. So I'm just relieved, right? But in the next couple of months, especially if I don't continue to take care of myself, like nutrition wise, like I can start to see my numbers falling down, because I'm gonna have those heavy menstruals again. So I've loaded up on my vegetables, I've loaded up on my fruits, and I've just pretty much like changed just how I eat in general. Drinking a ton of water has been a major game changer and help. So that just drinking the water, drinking your electrolytes, all those things help to detoxify the body, and that also aids in hair growth. So yes, I think this is a great discussion that we should be having as naturals, but I think we need to also be doing our homework and figuring out like what works for our hair, like what is my true philosophy, what do I believe, and go from there. Like get a philosophy and stick to it. Get a routine, stick to it. Like I feel like you cannot do a routine for a week and say it doesn't work. Like you need to do it for several months to figure out what you need to tweak, what you need to tailor in order for it to be like a definitive yes or a definitive no, if this is working for you. But I think looking at different stylists has been a game changer. Getting your own personal stylist has been a major game changer for me, and I encourage every natural to do that. So my next hair appointment is in May, and I'm also following the lunar hair cutting chart. So it was nice for me to trim my ends in April, and I think around like there's another time where you should be cutting your hair with the lunar cutting hair chart. I believe it's like May 10th to the 13th, like in between those. But look up the right dates, because you don't want to cut your hair on the wrong date, because that can also create stagnation on your hair. It was something I really didn't believe in until I started doing it myself. I started it back in January, and I was like amazed. Like, I don't know if that's what's contributing to my thickness, that's what's contributing to my hair growth, but I want to kind of see this through for the whole year and see what kind of changes come from my hair. If it's a lot of progress, I'm going to stick to the lunar hair cutting chart as well. Lisa on TikTok, she was the first person that I watched that spoke about this, and her hair is gorgeous, right? So I just wanted to like find people that I'm like, oh, they're thriving, their hair is thriving. What are they doing? How can I incorporate it into my my hair care routine? So a couple of things that I saw from her that I started doing is definitely using the ACV rinse. I was using it, but I wasn't using it properly, and especially like using it at the right time in my routine. So just making that little switch has been a major game changer for me. And then the lunar hair cutting chart, I absolutely love it. Like, I feel like my hair looks and just feels so much healthier. So you don't have to take off a lot of hair, in case some of you are kind of like worried about that. You just take off just the tiniest bit, and depending on what section you want to work on, if it's thickness, if it's length, if it's root work, if it's, you know, beautification of the hair, you know, those are like the categories. So you cut your hair on those dates that, you know, coincide with length or coincide with thickness, things like that. But I'll do a different video on the lunar hair cutting chart, like to go a little bit more in depth. I just wanted to kind of put to bed this whole like controversy of whether or not we should be oiling our scalp, oiling our hair. Like, seek professional help. YouTube is not going to give you all of the answers. If you have something that's going on with your scalp, like, go and see the dermatologist, go and see your doctor. Like, you have an internal issue that's going on that needs to be addressed, and you need help from professionals. We don't have all the answers here on YouTube, and you know, trying 1,000 things to avoid the doctors is just not smart. So anyway, this video is getting quite long. I just wanted to share my 2 cents on you know, what was kind of floating like out there. I think it's important for us to be our own advocates, do our own research, and figure out like what works best for us. All right, I'll see you guys in my next video. I love you, and thank you so much for watching. When it comes to your hair type, you should always foresee beauty.